Okay, now with my line work complete, we're not really going to work with the line work at this particular moment. So you can actually turn off the visibility for now. You want to create a new layer because this is the layer that you're going to put your words that are going to fit into your fruit. So the first thing that you would do is to go to Window, go to Type, go to Character so that you have your character palette open. Choose a font that you feel will be representative of the fruit that you're using. Right now, I think marker felt will be good for my fruit, I do believe. And I'll just use thin for now. Let's see what happens. You're going to use your type tool in order to type all your words. If you just click outside, it doesn't matter. You don't have to click on the fruit just right now. So I'm just going to click and type out strawberry. I'm going to do mine in all caps just to keep it nice and even. Alright, so I have strawberry. And I'm going to make it large enough to fit on my fruit. And you can have you can have the word more than once on a line if you prefer. You don't have to, but you can. And I'll go ahead and change my color right now because it's a little more detail if you don't change color now. So I'm just going to use my color picker and I'm going to just pick out the color here. And I can barely see it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a lighter red for now so that I can see it. And then I'll come back and I'll change it later. Alright, so here's my strawberry. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see. Alright, so here's my word. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go up to Object. You're going to go down to Envelope, Distort, and you're going to choose Make with Mesh. Once you get your window up, go ahead and put it on preview just so you can see what happens. If you notice, it says I have 4 rows and 4 columns. You know, I see 4 rows, 4 columns. I'm going to try 2 rows and then turn it off, switch it back on. I think 2 rows, 4 columns is good because you don't want too many points that you have to move. You don't want it to become too confusing. So try to stick with 2 rows and 4 columns. Press OK. So these are the anchors that you're going to manipulate to make it fit into your word fruit. You will be making use of your direct selection tool. Your direct selection tool allows you to move specific anchor points, and you can move more than 1 anchor at a time. If I were to move 1 anchor, if you notice, if I click, you notice it's highlighted. I click and I pull. You notice my letter pulls out in the shape that I'm pulling. You also have your anchors that allow you to pull your fruit as well. So you can actually, however you want to design your words and your fruit, you can. Everyone's not going to be the same. If I want it, I can bring, and you don't want to distort your letters too much, so I can bring that there if I wanted to. And in order to move more than 1 point at a time, you can marquee it. If you notice, marqueing is just drawing, highlighting the particular and I can move these. And so notice I'm just moving all of my anchors, and you want your letters to come close to the edge of your fruit as possible. If you notice, I'm moving that Y so it can become the outline of my fruit here. And you can pull these out as far as you need to in order for it to fit your fruit. I think that should be good. I can always come back in if I don't want my R to be too distorted, bring that back. So if you notice, I'm just moving my points in order to create, what I want my object to actually look like. And so this is called the envelope distort. So if I deselect it, so now that's how my letters actually are. If I want to see it without it, that's how it would be so far. Of course, when I go back in to put the rest of my words, and again, if you want to, once you type strawberry once, you can always copy and paste. If you wanted to maybe keep the same shape of your letters, you can always do a copy and paste again if you want, and just go in and manipulate this particular piece. If I notice it's a little too big here, make sure I hold down my shift key so I don't distort it too much. And so now I can come in here and using my direct selection tool, which allows you, of course, to move more than one anchor point, I can come in here and make this fit. And so your thing is pretty much just using your skills to manipulate your points to create the outlines of the shapes of your fruit, so that when you're actually done and you finish that, I should be able to look at your words and see it as that particular fruit's shape. And so now you have the shape of your letters that's actually fitting your fruit. Excuse me, I had some people who were talking while I was recording. But so now you just continue with this. If this word becomes too distorted, you just type a new word and start again to finish out, all the way down. It gets smaller down here, so of course your type will be much smaller. And I'm just going to stick with the same font. Do not go in and out of the fonts. And then your letters, you want it to fit in here, so make sure you hold down your shift key, putting your letters into the areas that you need, switching the color that you need. And I'll zoom in here. You notice the color is still there. Select the object, go to Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Mesh. Keep it at maybe 2 to 4 rows and press OK, and then begin to use your direct selection tool to manipulate your text. And so you just do a little bit at a time, get used to moving your points around, and once you're done with your drawing, of course, everything's on a different layer. If you notice, still on a different layer. Once you're done, right now we're just working with words, so I'm just going to stop here at just doing the words. So complete the words first and make sure that they are on a different layer for each fruit.